Welcome back. In the last video, we covered why would you want to implement a machine learning research paper? And we saw this quote from George Hotz, machine learning engineer, downloads a paper, implements it, keeps doing this until they have skills. And that machine learning engineering, this is the little asterisk, also involves building infrastructure around this. So step 0 might be load data, and step 4 may be deploy model. But the whole premise of this is that if you want to build skills, why not just go straight to the latest and greatest and try to replicate it? So if all the smartest people in the world are publishing this as a research paper, you can be assured that if you were to be able to replicate this with your own skills, well then you're pretty good at machine learning, right? And then if this turns out to be a well-performing computer vision model, then you have the benefit of not only being able to recreate it yourself, you have the benefit of being able to use it. So replicating a machine learning research paper has a lot of benefits. So now let's go through the question. Where can you find machine learning research papers? And now here's another caveat. There is going to be too much for you to go through because machine learning is booming, right? We all know that. That's probably why we're here. And deep learning as well. When I say machine learning, I mean deep learning as well. So the main resource where you're going to find a lot of things, and the way I've found this is on arxiv.org, which is ARXIV, arxiv.org. If we go to arxiv.org and search machine learning, then we go down, these are all the recent machine learning papers. There we go, self-distilled vision transformer. That's what we're replicating. But that's another paper that uses the vision transformer. And there's a whole bunch more, but let's see that live. That's way more fun. Arxiv.org. So this is the home page of arXiv. This is still arXiv, where image is worth 16 by 16 words. But then if we go here, we've got a lot of different scientific topics such as physics, math, quantitative biology, and computer science. That's what I'm going to start searching for. And then we go in here, machine learning. I'll type in that. Here we go. Now, there's a lot of research papers here. Way too much for any one person to go through, but this is stuff that's just recently been released. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I often don't understand like 90% of what's going on here because it is a big field. But instead, what I do is I often filter down to things that are relevant for my problem. So do we have computer vision? Yeah, computer vision. If we're working on Food Vision Mini and I want to use a computer vision model, I might come here to find computer vision models. But then let's go have a look at some other resources. Now there's a beautiful Twitter account called AK, and it might be pronounced Akil. I might be saying that wrong. But AK does something similar to this. I'm not sure if they do exactly what we're doing here, but then repost them. And it's sort of like a filtered feed of different machine learning research things. So let's see if we can find something. There's demos. There's some information. There's a paper from DeepMind. There's neural radiance transfer fields. A lot of the stuff here, again, I don't fully understand, but I often dig out something that's related to what I'm working on. Vector quantized image-to-image translation. Okay, that could be related to food vision. What else do we have? Another demo. Exciting demo. So yeah, this is a great account to follow just for machine learning tweets. Specifically, research paper tweets. Detas with high hybrid matching. So a lot of stuff going on here. And this is kind of a big thing as well. I want to emphasize the fact there is a lot going on at the moment, and this is going to be quite an in-depth section. So again, if you ever do get stuck or anything, all of what we're covering is covered in chapter 8, but we're going to try and break this down piece by piece because the field of machine learning, it's a wild, wild west. Then we have GitHub repositories like LucidRain's VitPyTorch, which was, in fact, a lot of the inspiration for the code in this module came from this GitHub repository. So this is VitPyTorch, so Vision Transformer PyTorch. Then we have the Vision Transformer model there. But this is not so much a way to find research papers, but just to see an example of what it looks like translating a lot of research paper code, or research papers into code, that is. So there we go. We've got a usable vit, a simple vit from another machine learning paper. So LucidRains is a GitHub account that turns research papers into code examples. And They've got a whole bunch of different examples, not just with VIT PyTorch, that's probably the most popular one, but there's AlphaFold 2, which is using PyTorch for AlphaFold, which is to do with protein folders. There's DALL-E 2 in PyTorch. Now, DALL-E 2 is a text-to-image generator. I'll let you go through all of this here, but this is just a great example of someone who's publishing open source materials to help other people learn about the field of machine learning and deep learning. So let's get out of that. And you'll probably find that a lot of these are made with PyTorch, because this is the last resource, by the way, paperswithcode.com. If we just go back to the keynote, yeah, Papers with Code is the last one. This is a place that's going to curate machine learning research papers for top, social, new, and greatest to find, yeah, there's TensorFlow, and there's Hugging Face Transformers, and there's PyTorch, a ConvNet for the 2020s, Saga, scikit-learn. So here's all machine learning research papers, and often they have code examples with them. So this is trending research right now. And then if we go here, do they have code? So this is Apple One, an improved 1 millisecond mobile backbone. And then if we go here, we've got code example on GitHub. So this is machine learning research papers with code. And then we go here, we could dig into here and try to find the code. ML model, beautiful. So this is 4 of my favorite resources for finding machine learning research papers. arXiv, which is basically the hub for all kinds of technical papers. It's where the vision transformer paper, the VIT paper, is hosted on arXiv. That's where you're going to find the white papers or the scientific PDFs. And then we have AK, which is a Twitter account. There are many more different Twitter accounts that share out machine learning. This is one of my favorites. You can find like a filtered feed of different arXiv papers on AK's Twitter. You can find machine learning reproductions on GitHub, such as LucidRains, VIT PyTorch. There are many other different repos. This is just one example. And then finally, possibly the most comprehensive resource for finding machine learning research papers with code, that's why it's called Papers with Code, is Papers with Code. And then of course, you can go into here. This is one of my favorites, browse state of the art. You could come into computer vision. In our case, we could go image classification because we're looking up models for our image classification problem, and we can find the models that are performing the best. And so here we go, CIFAR10, VIT H14. That's a vision transformer. That's what we're working on. So there we go, VIT H14. Look at what paper that comes from. An image is worth 16 by 16 words. So we're using a state-of-the-art computer vision model, or we're going to be replicating one with PyTorch code. So let's jump back in. That answers the question for finding machine learning research papers. Let's now, in the next video, go over what we're doing. And we've kind of hinted at that, so we're not going to spend too much longer there, but we'll just make it concrete. I'll see you there.